I first heard about the idea of making a live-action John Glock when me and my family were staying at an Airbnb in North Carolina. I received a message from my producer Tazio LeVeque that went something like this. I was immediately on board with the concept, and I began thinking up some ideas and figuring out exactly what and who I was going to need to get the picture made.
Hello, my name is Tazio LeVeque. I was the producer, cinematographer, and actor for Gideon Gennari's John Glock. I knew Gideon before making the movie. He's Tobiah, my roommate, and frequent filmmaker collaborator's little brother. And I immediately had recognized his talent, even at a young age, because when he was like 13, he was making movie posters and movie trailers for various projects that I did. And so I knew that he was really talented in that stuff. And I'd also seen his John Glock short films, the animated ones, which I was like, oh yeah, these are great, these are fantastic. You really have an eye for the editing and just like action choreography in general. And I saw a lot of talent in the young filmmaker, and so did he, and he knew it. He knows how good he is, but he didn't really know where to put it. We had talked about how he likes to edit, and he was thinking about doing cinematography. He didn't know if he could direct, because like working with a large group of people can be difficult. And I was like, yeah, but we'll see eventually how that goes as you get older, because you're still really young, and you can develop those different skills that need to be a director if that's what you wanted, if you have vision. So while Tobiah was moving to Grand Rapids to Michigan to live with me, his family was in America, because they live in Africa normally. And he was going to come back for one last week after dropping Tobiah off like a month before, and I messaged him. I was like, hey, do you want to make a movie while you're here? And so he's like, oh my god, I can do that.
I told them that I was going to be portraying John Glock in the film, and I was going to need a couple locations to shoot, as well as a few actors to play the various goons, and most importantly, I was going to be needing guns. Lots of guns. Pick it up. I'm gonna be about to pick it up.
Want him to just put the gun in the frame in this shot? Like I can make it a warrant.
So Todd, I don't know where you're gonna get it. That wasn't that bad.
Really close to his face.
He does. Like right here.
Literally like lift it like there to his face.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be. Keep your hand out of there first. I won't see you until Okay.
So you can't.
Filming.
A live-action John Glock was kind of always something I wanted to do, but never had the resources to actually make. I usually animate, not because it's my favorite way to make a movie, but because it's the easiest and most accessible way for me to get my ideas out, without needing any of the resources you need to make a live-action film. The other thing about animation is I'm usually doing most of the work myself, with the only exception being voice acting. So I was pretty excited to get to work with a larger group of people for this one.
So he immediately starts planning it, and he's like, okay, I have the whole story, all the kills, I have the action beats, I have this, and I was like, okay. So he asked me for advice, because he knows I directed. He's like, okay, what paperwork do I need to do?
I knew I wasn't going to have to write a script for the film, because there wasn't really going to be any dialogue, and I had a pretty good idea of what all was going to happen in the movie.
Do I need to do this or this, this? And I was like, okay, well, you don't need to do, most things. What you need is a general outline of the things that are going to happen, so that we are clear, we're all on the same page of the events that go through, and then I'm going to need a shot list.
This was probably the most daunting part of the whole process for me, as I'm not a film expert and I don't really know any of the technical names for the shots or how many I was going to need. I just knew what the shots were going to look like in my head and how I wanted to film them when I got there.
And so he creates a shot list, and I'm like, okay, that's good.
It wasn't great, but Tazio walked me through it and helped me make it exactly how it was supposed to be, and it turned out really good. At this point, I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted the film to be. The next thing I was going to need was locations. I was going to need 2 separate locations for the film. One for the opening oneer, which I already knew was going to be filmed at my brother's apartment, because I already knew for sure that both my brother and Tazio would be on board for the project, as well as one other indoor location that would preferably be a bit more spacious than my brother's and Tazio's place. Tazio informed me that one of the actors, Ian Fawcett,
Hello, America,
had a house that was basically the exact kind of thing I was looking for the film. So we got Ian on board with the project, and the location was secured.
I start organizing all the people we need different actors to be the goons that he kills, and I get the location, we set the date, we organize the scheduling right. That was my main job as the producer, just getting it made, getting it done before he leaves because we had a limited time.
We ended up with me as John Glock, as well as 5 other guys to play the various goons, and it ended up being the perfect amount of people for what I had written down in my notes.
Yeah, John Glock was pretty fun. Looking forward in the future, I think I want our films to have more guns in them. Specifically, action films like this. Because I think we could have had more guns.
Hello, everyone. I starred in John Glock, and I have an executive producer credit. I didn't really do anything until the end. Yeah.
Hello. I was a goon, and I got to use the coolest gun of all of them, the big shotgun. However, most of my acting job amounted to me laying down on the dirty floor for about 30 minutes. But it was a pretty cool experience, nonetheless.
Well, acting in the movie, which was my other role, it was very brief. I was like, okay, because I'm the producer and I'm the one who's the assistant director essentially as well, I can die first. I can be a goon, I can die. So my role was very brief, but I did put attention into it. I wanted to kind of feel like, I don't know if you can even see this in the movie, but I wanted to feel like I was like somehow in charge. And so while I was in character, I was like trying to tell him what to do, but it's all very brief, being like, oh, this guy like knows what he's doing, except he doesn't, he just dies immediately. So the first one you focus on is just me, and I die.
We're gonna trade those around, I think.
Yeah. This is perfect spot.
Alright.
Greg Parkington.
Rolling. Alright, now I'm gonna get... Don't do that. Go back. Action.
Is that pretty good?
Someone do banging noises.
I'll do banging noises. I got it.
Alright, we're still rolling.
Ian's doing it.
Okay.
Action.
Bang, bang.
Oh,
I didn't do it rolling. I did it like that.
Alright.
Blow, blow, blow.
You're gonna break that gun. Action.
Bang, bang, bang.
That was really good. Let's go. Ian's floor on fire.
Yes, keep your hand on the gun. So is he going to be for over here or right here?
He's gonna be right here.
So he's going to have like this?
Yes.
Right here.
Should I, like...
No, not. You're gonna be like there. So move the. Get the beam back. No, you shouldn't do that. But let's get the beam back. Just put it right. Don't put it all the way over there. Just put it over there.
So wait,
We're gonna need.
Wait, do I put the gun where it was, so like
So,
right here, and then maybe...
Tavares, just stand here. Here. Stand here. You don't need to do anything yet. This is for reference. And then I'm gonna go over here. And then I'm gonna kind of pick this up. And then I'm gonna hear him. Well, I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm gonna like be about to pick it up.
Want him to just put the gun in the frame in this shot? Like I can make it a warner. We can do it later as well.
What do you mean?
Like I can move around and then this is you, and then his gun enters the frame at the end.
Let's do both.
Okay.
Let's do the way I was gonna do it, and then do gun.
I need my finger to be still.
So what's the way you're gonna do it right here? I just follow you.
It doesn't matter where your body was in the left shot. People aren't gonna remember anyways. So I'll go over here,
So what do you want me to do?
Editing.
and then be about to grab it,
Not right now.
and then I'm gonna hear the sound,
Why you
and
quick
then I'm gonna. And then I'm gonna be here, and then I'm gonna hear the sound, and I'm gonna like look up.
So I'm in for the set the whole time.
I don't pick this up until I.
Blast.
Oh, that's what we
That's
forgot.
hilarious.
What?
Ian, do you have fishing line?
No, it's all at his apartment.
Okay, never
What do you
mind.
need it for?
This was gonna fly up into the air, but we could just have somebody hold it.
They needed fishing
You can
lines.
just-
React to me being over here.
There you go.
That smoke detector's totally going off.
Like there's a person over here, and then you could like look over. You can like look over and be surprised. Well,
You
are you
actually
smoking or do I-
inhaling it?
No. Do I light another one?
Why were you
Probably
coughing?
light another one. Leave it, Tavares. You're gonna burn the house.
Do you want this gun in the shot or no?
No, it doesn't need to.
All right, I'm rolling.
No, don't be in the shot.
All right.
Action.
Oh.
Let's do one more of that. That was great.
Alright, that's better.
You can't see me, right?
Yep, we're good. I gotta do that better. Do it again. Oh la la!
So I'm not shooting and running and then.
Oh,
so
no.
just like. Other way. Just like.
I think you should put the beanbag a little further.
I think you should move the beanbag farther away.
You don't need to light it.
I just. Yes, I do.
That's great.
Don't smoke crack.
Alright.
Redo, because Michelle does not. I'm gonna go stop.
Rolling.
Action.
Darn tootin'.
Alright. That was great. The entire thing took a total of 2 days to shoot. The first day took just a few hours to shoot, and it ended up taking a lot quicker than we thought it would. And we actually had quite a bit of time to yuck around after we wrapped.
We didn't have lights, it would have taken too long to set up lighting for each shot, so as the cinematographer, I had a lot of fun just like trying to use the light coming through different windows or different house lights and plan the lighting around that. And then just as someone who understands the camera, I was like adjusting the lens length to have the image, the compositions to be specific. There's a shot I'm really proud of where it's like I use the really long lens so you can just see like Ian popping out in the background and I'm like shifting the focus really specifically.
A lot of my favorite bits were shot during day one. I had a lot of fun experimenting with the mirror, even though I only ended up using it one time in the final cut.
Yeah, that's what.
That's what I'm gonna do.
No, that's what they did in the village. On my channel in the village also.
It says the players.
We did it, Joe.
Focused on him, and then I'm gonna go back up here. Bob.
Do I need to get shot?
Yeah, you can't drop that gun. You're gonna get on him. So, there you go. You probably want to wash this shirt. You don't even know where these things have been. It's nasty. Your foot's gonna...
Are you guys doing this to really?
Grab his torso and his arms.
No. No, don't let it fall apart.
Oh no!
Did he already fall apart?
Yeah, he lost his arm.
His hands.
His hands. Let me get it. Give him hands.
I need hands!
Give him a hand.
Oh, and also you can button the sleeve.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Push him!
I need to grab the shoes first.
Do we have that like?
No, this will work. I now know.
Rolling.
Action. Action.
That looks.
That was great.
We got it!
Day 2 was a little trickier due to the opening oneer, as well as having to reassemble the body double so many times. I had wanted Roy the Raw Dog to make some sort of cameo in the film, and I thought it would be really funny if we used him as the body double's head.
Yeah, I think as cinematographer, one of my favorite things, one of the things I'm most proud of is he wanted a oneer. He wanted an opening oneer, one take, and we don't have steady cam and we don't have rigs or anything, and so I'm just like holding the camera like really close to my body, but I have to spin around him like multiple times, and not just that, I have to be focusing and shifting the focus on like a close-up and then up here, that is like getting the different beats of him pulling the guns out, and then still track him up to the door. And he wanted it to go into the door, going through the door and up into the staircase where he shoots the guy. And I was like, okay, you can't do that because I don't like having auto-adjusted lighting settings. So I'm adjusted for outside right now, which means it's just going to be super dark when you go inside because there's no sun in there. And so I was like, okay, we can just fake it in the edit. I can just do like a pan when you kick the door open and then we're just in a different shot. And I was like, there's a way that you could trick that, but he ended up just keeping the shift, like it's jarring. So it does like get brighter for a second and then he goes inside. And I'm just so really happy with how all those shots turned out. And then, yeah, lots of fun building and rebuilding, and I didn't really help this because that was my job, the fake Tobiah prop of throwing him down the stairs.
Overall, I'm very proud of the opening oneer, and I think the body rolling down the stairs bit is probably the funniest part of the whole movie. The editing process was a lot of fun and ended up taking a lot quicker than I had anticipated. I had never edited a full short film before, so I ended up using CapCut to edit the entire thing. I tried doing some color grading, but every time I tried, it just looked a lot worse than the raw footage did, so I ended up just using the raw footage. If I ever end up making another film in the future, I do definitely plan to color grade it. I really do love the final product, but I definitely won't be using CapCut again to edit any bigger projects in the future. As soon as the idea of the film was given to me, I knew my brother Jaidan was going to be making the music. He's extremely talented with producing, and I knew he'd be able to help me achieve what I wanted from the score.
I am the composer of the music for John Glock, and saying that sounds very interesting, but it was actually a very simple task.
For the music, I wanted kind of an 80s synth action movie type score.
First off, my director shared with me some of his influences that helped shape the desired sound of the music.
I specifically shared with him 2 tracks from movies I was very influenced by. One being from the elevator scene in Michael Mann's Heat. And the other being from the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There are 4 songs in total for the soundtrack. However, one of them is just a 2-track percussive loop. The majority of the synths that I used were Surge XT presets, and ones that I sculpted myself with Vinyl VST, and my DAW was GarageBand. In total, it took me around 5 days to finish the soundtrack.
But yeah, the entire thing was just a real blast to make, and it was so much fun to get to work on a real project with a cast and a crew and solid equipment.
And then he's so efficient at making things that he sent us a cut like pretty quickly after. He's like, wow, this is already great. And Jaidan, their other brother, his music is great. It's one of my favorite things I've done. It's one of the favorite things that we put on The Train Police. Yeah, all around, I had a great time. That's John Glock if you're doing it right. And hopefully he keeps doing it. Let's make John Glock live action 2.
I definitely would consider doing a John Glock 2 if I ever get the chance, or any other thing, really.
Or you could try to do another genre, but I don't know why would you do that? It's action. It's an action movie. Just do more action movies, Gideon.
And at the end of day 1, Tazio was very kind and ordered pizza for the entire crew.
So I had pizza.
Lunch was Little Caesars Pizza.
I'd also like to give a shout out to the catering.
You have to shoot the movie. It takes a while, and people get hungry.
Little Caesar himself came down and gave us all pizza after we were done shooting, so that was pretty cool.
It was pretty good.
It's time for dinner now, let's... Oh yeah, we gotta put this back.
Why?
To the Lord, praise his beauty. It's time for dinner now, let's go. We got some beans and some good cornbread. So listen to what the...
I stood up and with all my might I sang to the Lord, let praises be. It's time for dinner now, let's go. We got some beans and some good cornbread. Now listen to what the preacher said. Now it's to the Lord, let
Bye.